This week on Jon Thelen's Destination Fish, we start out on a great spring jig bite on Devil's Lake up in North Dakota. Some days it's about subtle adjustments, and today is one of those days. Jon Thelen's Destination Fish is brought to you by Lindy Fishing Tackle and Yamaha Outboards.
There he is, that one, John, right next to the boat. It's a decent fish, okay? Oh yeah, nice.
Oh yeah, nice.
He just crushed it.
Look at that. That right there, that is a good way to start a day. Tell you what, Devil's Lake, North Dakota. Some of the funnest fishing that you will do anywhere. You know, over the years I've come here an awful lot. Pretty much every time here I fish with my friend Jason Feldner. He runs Perch Eyes Guide Service out here. This is just common. What you're looking at right here, a lot of people would say, what a beautiful fish. But let me tell you something, Devil's Lake, this is common. This is all day long.
Yep, 17 to 19 inches are very common. Yep. I said that's 18, 19 incher.
Beautiful fish.
Yep.
Perfect fish.
Nothing better than pitching jigs for them too, John.
Oh, I know. You get to feel that bite.
Yes, just that thump.
I'll tell you what, there really is nothing better. And I look forward to coming out here every year, and I've done this for so many years, and one of the reasons I love it so much out here is this. We're here in the spring this year, okay? So we're on that jig bite, but later in the year we're gonna pull spinners.
Correct.
You get to pull crankbaits. You can do pretty much anything
Bobber
here.
fish, any way you wanna fish them, you can fish them. That's the beauty of it.
That is the beauty of Devil's Lake. That's a start. Stay with us. You're going to see a lot of those.
Let's catch some more.
That's good stuff.
There's one. Nice fish.
Let's get him. Oh yeah, good fish. Another good one. Man, I'll tell you, this is so interesting. Whoa,
ooh, look at that. Unbuttoned.
Look at that. Here, I'm just gonna hoist them out of here and show them to everybody. Look at that. Here's what's so interesting about this though. It just goes to show you how sometimes fishing areas that are unpressured, there might be less fish on these humps right now.
Right, but you're gonna catch every one you see.
But you're gonna catch them, that's right, because they're not pressured.
Yep.
And you know what? They're the better fish. You can go up on those shorelines right now, and I'll bet we could whale on 14 inches.
Yes, 100%.
15 inches, you get all the eaters you want. But these fish right here, they're sitting out just a little bit deeper, and man, they're just...
Yeah, I think these females progress a little bit faster than the males do. You know, early in the spring like this,
sure.
They'll hit this mid-lake structure a little bit quicker than the males will. The males will sit up there and be residual and everything.
Right, and I think that happens pretty much everywhere.
Yep.
Hey, I'm gonna throw this guy in the live well, then I wanna show you something here. I'm gonna show you this setup we're using. Number one, we're just using a variety of plastics today, okay? And we're changing pretty consistently. Different colors, different actions, paddle tails, curl tail, just a variety of different stuff. But one of the things I want you to see is the jig we're using. That's the brand new Lindy B-Max jig. Now here's what's great about that. It's a lead-free jig. It's made out of primarily bismuth and then a blend of other materials. But here's what we get out of that. Jason's sitting here watching the Mega Live, and I'm watching him turn that pole, and he is seeing fish in there, but you can see this jig out there further, and here's why. Bismuth is 50% harder than what standard lead is. So this is more like fishing that tungsten jig, and you're able to do it at a fraction of the cost. And yet you get all of those attributes that you get with the tungsten. That's Lindy B-Max. Whole variety of sizes, whole variety of great colors, and as you can see, man, that hook's doing its job.
Yes. And that hook does not bend one bit either.
It's a good hook on there.
And as we mentioned before, we had this, the water's real clear. It's spring here yet. We don't have an algae bloom or anything like that. So what we did is we put the Humminbird side imaging on, and we stay on the outside edge of these humps. You know, here I set it at 75 feet. So we stayed 75 to 80 feet off the edge of these humps, and you could just see those fish laying up there in the rocks on the edges of them. So then what we did is we went back, okay, we found some fish. We went back, and I'm still using the side imaging right now as we go along, and then when I do see those fish on that side imaging, that's when I use the sonar live, and then I can key in on them and find exactly where they're sitting and pitch to them.
When it comes down to it, man, not going over them can make a huge difference. If you start driving over them in this clear water, I'm going to tell you something. they're gonna scatter. So using that side imaging, then that Mega Live, and spot locking and throwing to them is really the key. Jon Thelen's Destination Fish is brought to you by these fine sponsors.
There it is.
Any nut?
Nice.
Looks like a decent fish,
Yep,
huh?
nice walleye.
Okay,
Nice walleye.
cool. I'm gonna get him scooped. Oh yeah, look at that. There you go. Good looking fish. There you go.
Nice.
I'll let you get him unhooked. I'm gonna show everybody something here real quick because, you know, I don't think there's anything more frustrating than when you grab a jig tray. You open that, nice fish, dude. That's an awesome fish. You open that jig tray up and you got rust on your hooks, okay? A couple things I'm gonna tell you. These new B-Max jigs from Lindy, they got a good, strong black nickel hook that's gonna avoid all the rust possible. But here's the other thing I'm gonna tell you. No matter what, you throw wet jigs into a tray and there's gonna be a chance that you're gonna end up with rusted hooks. This is the Flambeau Slim Tough Tainer. What's cool about this is all these little blue dividers that you see here, they're infused with what's called Z-Rust. And that's actually gonna fight rust and corrosion for up to 5 years. So if you do throw a wet jig in here and close that lid, here's what's gonna happen. It's gonna fight that rust off. So really, I tell people all the time, we spend a lot of money on tackle nowadays, but spend a little extra money and buy yourself the tackle trays that are gonna make sure that that tackle doesn't rust and it'll last a lot longer. It's Flambeau Slim Z-Rust Tough Tainer right here. Pretty cool product. All right, good fish, my friend. There's one.
There you go.
Right at the boat. Feels like a good fish.
Yep.
That is a good fish.
Ooh.
If he's the right kind.
With that clear water, they see that boat and they,
Yeah.
they don't want nothing to do with it.
Good walleye. Look at this one. Look at that. Man, I'll tell you. So every now and then, there's a little thing, and I believe this in fishing wholeheartedly. I'm gonna let Jason jump in on this, but when we were out on the Missouri River earlier this year, we were fishing very, very differently. We were fishing the same Lindy B-Max jigs, okay? We were out there, we were fishing 1/8 ounce, okay? We're fishing them again today. Difference is, out in the Missouri River, for some reason, I was fishing Superline, he was fishing mono, and it didn't matter. Today, I'll tell you what, Jason's talking me into a little bit of a difference that you might find in fishing mono versus fishing Superline, and I'll tell you what I think it is. I think it's that drop rate.
It is.
I think the jig goes down a little bit slower. So I've been bouncing back and forth between my two rods because I'm not ready to just give up and say I'm wrong, but let me tell you something. That fish is on one of Jason's rods where I'm using the mono. So it's a little change that can make a big, big difference on any given day. And don't be afraid to just say, hey, maybe today it's just that little extra snap or I'm falling faster with that Superline. And if I change to a mono, there's a little bit more stretch, a little bit more buoyancy. So definitely made a difference there.
That fall rate is huge, you know. And that's the whole thing is when you get wind like this, you need the 1/4 ounce jig for control.
Right.
Now, if it was calmer, we could go down to an 1/8, and I think you could get away with the Superline.
Yeah, when you go to that
Exactly.
Superline, there's no doubt about it. The weight of the jig just pulls that line down faster than with a mono, because the mono's got some flotation to it. So, you know, on any given day, it might make a difference. It might not. You know, it just comes down to trying little things. And you know what? I'm going to throw one more time here before I go back to my rod and see what happens. It's early spring with water temps in the high 50s and air temps in the high 40s, making for a chilly start to the day. Pitching 1/8 and 1/4 ounce B-Max Lindy jigs to offshore rock piles is today's ticket. Hot colors are lime hot yellow and orange hot yellow, tipped with various styles and colors of plastics. Holding the boat in 10 to 12 feet of water and casting up the hill to the shallower water and staying away from the fish is the key to getting bit. There he is.
Woohoo, hooked up.
Yep, that one feels like the right one too. Boy, you can tell. You know, earlier today, Jason made a comment to me about all the pike. He said, don't worry, that's a good thing. And I thought to myself, how can that be a good thing? All those pike biting. But he said, this is gonna happen all of a sudden behind all the pike. The walleyes will start snapping. And boy, has that ever been the case. I mean, these fish, they have fired ever since those pike quit. Man, I'll tell you, what a fun day. This is a great place to go. That's just another one of those great fish. We're gonna let that one go. Man, that's just good stuff right there. Jon Thelen's Destination Fish has been brought to you by these great sponsors.